Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Sam. I'm an intuitive reader and I channel messages for your highest good and the highest good of all. I started this channel to practice and develop my own abilities and basically to give other people permission to pursue their own passions, no matter how niche or how offbeat they might seem to other people. Tarot readers on YouTube have helped me so much on my own spiritual journey. And my hope is to pay their kindness forward. So do check the description of this video or my channel page, where I hope to have a list of readers who have helped me personally and who you might enjoy. But yeah, let's get into it. We're going to start with this beautiful animal deck. These oracle cards are called Animal Love. They're written and illustrated by this wonderful artist called Nadine Gordon-Taylor. And just some beautiful depictions of animals. And the book is really good as well. So we're going to do this to get sort of a thematic energy for this reading. See what we got going on. As I'm recording this, it's the very beginning of 2025. So I hope you guys are having a great start to the new year. All right. Got deer energy, compassion, gratitude, and unconditional love. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to read from the book about deer. This card shows a young fawn connecting with your heart. That's for sure. She has sauntered into your consciousness, bringing gentle and welcoming energy. People who are connected to the deer are highly evolved teachers who have chosen to be on Earth at this time to help disseminate heart-based consciousness. You are one of these people. You have the ability to be patient when others speak and to listen very attentively. You are sensitive and have a deep level of feeling and empathy. You want the highest and best good for all of humanity, doing what it takes to bring love and balance into this dimension. The deer has the magical ability to melt away barriers that separate people. Its beautiful energy has a way of taming the dark and expanding the light. This is so nicely illustrated by a Native American story that tells about an innocent, fearless fawn confronting an angry demon with love and compassion. The fawn eventually melts the demon's rock-hard heart, thus clearing the way for all to access the Great Spirit. No matter what you're going through, Deer says to let go of any anger and think of a more positive and loving approach. Reflect on the deer's ability to navigate life's tough terrain with calm, grace, and poise. She wants you to focus on the present moment so that when life asks you to quickly change directions, you are ready. Aligning with the deer will give you the inner strength you need to recover quickly. The deer teaches you to trust your gut, knowing that you have everything you need to thrive in this reality. Be kind to yourself, for this earthly journey asks a lot of you. Learn to love yourself unconditionally no matter what happens. You earned it and deserve it. Stroll with the deer and let it lead you deep inside your soul. It is here that you connect with collective wisdom and beauty. Be on the lookout for new opportunities, especially in the arts. With deer as your guide, your heart will open and you will experience a profound and intimate connection with Source. Your creativity will expand, and any insecurities and fears you might have had will melt away. With the deer at your side, be prepared to conquer all your demons and have a clear path to all your dreams. Yeah, this book is good because it also includes these affirmations. So the affirmations for deer energy. I take pleasure in the simplicity of my soul. I am on a successful path. I know exactly what I am here to do. I surround all situations with a force field of gratitude, love, and compassion. Well, this is a beautiful energy. Thank you for bringing your beautiful energy to this reading. All right, let's pull some tarot cards and just see what's going on for you guys in this vein. I'm using a deck called the First Occult Tarot by Robert M. Place. And if you guys haven't heard of him, he's this amazing polymath author and scholar of the tarot, and I've learned a lot about, Hermeticism and the tarot in particular from him. So if you haven't heard of him, check out his decks and his books, because they are really, truly very beautiful and so well researched. Shoot, that's too many. All right, guys. So we've got the Knave of Batons to start. It's kind of like the Page of Wands. Seven of Cups. Seven of Vessels in this deck. Hanged Man. Death. So what I'm getting here is, purposive action, like a marching forward, backed up by what you truly believe in, your beliefs, your virtues, will lead to, well, bounty. But also this is someone like going about household chores. So this is also kind of like a water your garden, water your plants kind of card. So these are both marching forward in the same direction. And they are being faced down by Death and the Hanged Man. And I think what this is saying is, if you get in your own head and you deliberate about taking actions that may or may not be aligned with your values and that don't benefit the creation of healthy habits and routines, what you'll end up with is just rigidity, right? I think when they write about death in, say, like the Psalms or the Proverbs, my interpretation is not like a literal death, but rigidity, like an inability to change, inflexibility, inability to flow. In this way, it's the opposite of life, right? So I think this speaks to taking action that is aligned with your values, even in the face of rigidity and indecision that would tie you up by your toes. Yeah, let's see if we can get clarification on the energies we're seeing on the left here and on the right. Okay. So, yeah, this is great. So, to clarify your value-oriented action, we have this card, the Five of Coins in this deck, Five of Pentacles. And this is nicknamed the Deep Kiss. And typically this is about deep intimacy, typically physical intimacy. But in this context, what I'm getting is a marriage between your actions and your values, your highest self as spirit, and your lowest self in body. Right? So this is action in 3D, or internally, that reflects your highest self. And that is reflected in the stance you take. Like, look at the way he's standing. The forward motion you make with his walking, your values, and then your daily habits. What cups are you filling and how, right? How do you fill your cup? And is it in line with your highest self? And then over here, I love this card. I want to make sure you can see. So the way it's described in the book, this is like well, first of all, it's the Eight of Wands, but it's a completely different meaning in this version of the tarot. So the way that it's described here is like a vain young person who is so self-absorbed that she can't see potential suitors, or she misses opportunities. And what this is in this context is, like, this for me is often an ego card, right? It's hard for the ego to see beyond itself. It looks out at the world and it only sees itself in a little hand mirror. So these rigid actions and thoughts that you're being asked to combat with your highest self and your values, they're very egoic, right? So it might be hard to see. The ego, for those of us who haven't practiced, it's just the water we swim in. We can't see the forest for the trees, and it's because of the way that the ego is designed. So keep in mind that the ego is going to try to trip you up, but you shouldn't let it. You should move forward in your compassion, your gratitude, and your unconditional love, which are the values of your highest self, amongst the values of your highest self. Because that's truly you. You are not the ego. You are that beautiful creature that not only has access to spirit at all times through its intuition, but brings that access to others through choosing its highest values and to live those out in daily life, right? To show others how to connect to source. This has a beautiful symmetry, this reading. Okay, I'm going to finish us out with some advice for you. I know some of you will have brought a particular problem to this reading, and while this might have given you some general schema, sometimes it's helpful to have some more concrete advice. So this is just a deck that I wrote myself of situations from various stories. I think stories speak to consciousness, including divine consciousness, right? In a language it can understand. And once you understand the lessons in stories, you actually can start to learn lessons the easy way rather than the hard way. Spirit's only concern is that you learn the lessons, right? If it's part of your life path that you have to learn it the hard way, so be it. But often you can learn it the easy way and save yourself a lot of trouble. So let's see if we can do that for you. Some advice for this collective, please, Spirit. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Coco, but this card is Miguel playing the guitar instead of making shoes. It's card 41. So in this story, his entire family makes shoes, and it's because of one of Miguel's ancestors who was left by her husband to fend for herself when he went off on tour as a musician. And so she has banned all music. No one is allowed to play music or learn how to play music, play any instruments. And the entire family has to join the family business of making shoes. But Miguel learns to play the guitar in secret. So this card is about, doing what you love, because doing what you love shows other people that they can too. It's not just about you, because when you choose you, other people can choose themselves too. It's about the collective and raising themselves up, because when you choose yourself, everybody can, and the world would be so much better if we did. So this card asks you to consider, are you doing what you're supposed to do, right? Supposed to do, instead of what your soul wants you to do? And in that case, how can you swap them? It encourages you not to live someone else's life, but to live yours. I'm here on YouTube doing this because I realized I was living someone else's life, right? And I wanted to live my own. So don't you dare make shoes when your destiny is to play the guitar, right? We don't need excellent guitar players. We don't need the next Jimi Hendrix making shoes. That's for damn sure. So yeah, do that thing that calls to you, that lights you up. Especially if it reverses, breaks, or heals a generational curse, like in this story, right? It was truly a generational curse that wouldn't allow, that Miguel was not allowed to play the guitar. Quote unquote, not allowed. It was trauma on the part of one of his ancestors. And by playing the guitar, by choosing to play the guitar, he broke that generational curse. He dealt with and processed the trauma. It's a really good movie. You guys should watch it. So yeah, these traumas, these generational curses can cause our family to play small or ignore their individual authenticity. But you should not. Just remember, your ancestors tried their best, most likely, but they lack the resources that you have, right? They did what they could, but it wasn't always what you're able to do, right? You're most likely here because not only do you have more resources, but you're stronger. And you may have been in some way chosen by your ancestors to do this. So think about what your version of playing the guitar is. And just remember that your uniqueness pleases the universe, and you should lean into it. All right, I think that, that underscores the reading really well. Let's see if we can't get one more message, Spirit. So this is Q and Picard on the bridge of the USS Enterprise. So this is from Star Trek The Next Generation. If you haven't watched that show, it's terrific. It's actually the inspiration for this deck. Because in one of the episodes, the captain, Picard, the captain of this spaceship, is stuck on a planet, and he's stuck with the captain of a different ship, but their species have never met before, and usually they have a device that can translate any language. But this alien species speaks in stories. So they'll allude to a story to try to communicate something about the situation at hand. And since this story is, culturally bound, he can't understand until he's learned the stories himself, right? And this is why I made this deck. But anyway, Q is a being that's essentially like a god. So he can do anything at the click of his fingers. And he occasionally shows up on the USS Enterprise, the spaceship, just to mess everything up and to put the crew and the captain through various trials and to sort of test humanity and see what they're made of. But this card encourages you to remember that this life is a game. It is a game, right? So what if you chose to play and enjoy the game? Because when Q shows up, right, when God comes down and, just throws stuff around in your life, just understand that the only way out is through, right? You have to play the game. You are consciousness experiencing itself. So just remember, this is all for your benefit, even if it seems completely insane. There's a lesson to be learned. There are skills to be gained. And yeah, just remember to stay humble and stay clever, especially if the situation feels like this is so beyond my control. This is like an act of God that is happening right now. Just remember, you are only human, but stay humble, stay clever, play the game. The only way out is through. All right? I hope that this has been helpful to you guys. Thank you for tuning in to my first ever video. I am so pleased to have had you here. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.